Today, I'm installing a set for a client. This is for a DJ41, featuring a black dial 5-piece OEM conversion set. Since it's a complete 5-piece set, the client has opted for a fluted bezel. So for this conversion, we won't be using the smooth steel bezel. We will be directly swapping out its dial, hands, date wheel, the dial face, and its crystal. I have previously done a detailed comparison of these 5-piece sets. So today, we'll just briefly go over the comparison for the black dial, as my previous review focused on the blue dial. This is the authentication certificate from Untitled. It has been professionally authenticated. Now, let's examine the black dial and identify the key differences. You can take a moment to guess which one is genuine. Can you spot any differences between these two dials? Although they are both black. In terms of color, the difference is quite apparent. The genuine dial's black is a much deeper, richer black. If you look at the black on this Aftermarket C factory dial, it's not as deep. It lacks the blackness of the genuine piece. It's closer to a sort of coffee brown hue. The depth of color isn't as pronounced. Let's look at the back. The genuine dial has the Rolex markings. The C factory dial has nothing on the back, and the workmanship is quite rough. The back is an instant giveaway when compared side by side. But what about the front? Let's take a closer look. In truth, the logo and the font aren't glaringly different. This is because fonts can have slight variations between production batches, which is normal. However, we can see the base color is clearly different. It's a deeper black. The genuine product is much blacker. This one isn't as black. This is a very obvious difference. Another detail is its hour markers, the baton indices. It's not immediately obvious from this angle, but upon closer inspection, the genuine dial's markers are crafted from white gold. The C factory dial does not use white gold, and you can see the color of the indices is also different. The one that isn't white gold appears whiter and brighter. The genuine white gold markers possess a warmer, slightly yellowish hue. This is another distinction. Now let's examine the crown logo. The genuine crown is noticeably thicker. The C factory version is slightly thinner, and this applies to the small circles at the tips of the crown as well. So, those are the key differences. One is the dial color, which is quite obvious. Then, the more subtle details are the markers. One is white gold, while the other is plated. The color difference is distinct. The color difference is distinct. But it's subtle and hard to discern at a glance. Then there's the crown, which is also not very obvious. The main tell is the dial's base color. Although they are both black, there is a clear difference in the shade. Now, let's compare the hands. The hands, yes, the color difference here is quite apparent. Let's view it like this, under the light. You can see, here is the hour hand, positioned right side up. This one is right side up. This one is upside down. The hour hand is a clear indicator. This one is plated. And this is the genuine white gold hand. You can see the genuine white gold hand's color is different from the plated one. The plated hand is whiter. Our genuine hand has a warmer, more yellowish hue. This is a key difference in the hands, which I have mentioned before. The reverse side shows a similar distinction. It's difficult to see clearly, but the front side's color is definitely different. Lighting can be deceiving. Sometimes it's hard to see, but like this, yes, under any lighting condition, the color difference between the two is noticeable. Next, let's compare the date wheels. The entire date wheel disc is different. The teeth, you can see a white edge revealed on this side, whereas this one does not have that. The base color of the date wheel is also different. The genuine one is a purer white. But the most crucial element to inspect is the font of the date numerals. The C factory font is actually very well replicated. But there are still differences. The genuine one appears to be. Let's compare them carefully. Look at the numeral 4. The genuine 4 feels proportionally smaller. The inner aperture on this one is larger. The genuine font generally feels smaller in scale than the C factory version. It just feels slightly smaller and a touch thicker. Additionally, there's a detail that's very hard to see, the finish on the black font itself, the texture of the print. The genuine font actually has a matte, granular texture. The black print, it isn't perfectly smooth and glossy. In contrast, the C factory print is quite smooth, raised, and glossy. But the genuine print has a distinct granular texture. It's not just the dial that has this matte finish. The font itself has an uneven, textured quality, which the C factory version lacks. This is a clear difference between the two. So, from the base color to the font and its texture differences exist. A careful, expert inspection will reveal them. Regarding the crystal, I covered this in a previous video. It concerns the chamfering on the Cyclops magnifier. This area right here, you can observe the polishing and the smooth, rounded transition. It's finished to be very smooth and rounded. The C factory version, or our typical replica, isn't as rounded. The bevel is also quite thin. This aspect is not easy to see. You absolutely must use a magnifier or a watchmaker's loupe to inspect it. It's difficult to demonstrate the crystal clearly, so let me provide an analogy. It's analogous to this area on the watch case. You see this? This part of the case exhibits a smooth, rounded transition. Imagine this as a cross-section. It's as if the edge of the crystal is cut, and then the side features this kind of polished, rounded transition. On the genuine piece, this bevel is made to be very wide and highly polished. However, our replica versions cannot replicate this effect. If they attempt it, it's just a minuscule amount, not very noticeable. It's this single, fine line here. After installation, this is the final result. A genuine 5-piece OEM conversion set. However, the bezel wasn't installed. That comes down to personal preference. Some prefer the fluted bezel, while others like the smooth steel bezel. These are the replaced components: the date wheel, hands, dial, and crystal. So, is this 5-piece set necessary? I feel that certain components are quite noticeable. Especially the hands and the dial. The date wheel and other elements, if scrutinized by a professional authenticator, will reveal their aftermarket nature. A professional will certainly be able to tell. Of course, these genuine parts hold their value exceptionally well: the dial, hands, and date wheel. Sometimes they even appreciate in value. When demand outstrips supply, their prices will rise. So, should you decide to sell them in the future, it remains a sound investment.